What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders, coming to you today in a different format. This is going to be a different type of preview show that I'm going to try out. If you guys are looking forward to tonight, Thursday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cincinnati Bengals, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And what I want you guys to do is drop a comment down below because I'm going to be doing a little bit of a competition. Drop a comment down below with your score prediction. If you get the score right, I will personally be buying you a shirt from Breaking Tea. I'll drop the link down in the description. I'll be personally buying you a t-shirt if you're the winner. If you correctly predict the score, both teams, winner, all that stuff. I'll buy you a shirt of your choice from Breaking Tea. If multiple people have the same score, we'll do a draw. Simple as that. Drop your comment down below. Let me know. What I'm going to be doing is kind of doing a film-based preview. I've done some, narrative ones, but now we're going to kind of focus on doing this through a film format. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this format as well, and if we want to keep doing it. So let's dive into it because I want to take a look at the three key pieces that I think the Baltimore Ravens need to do to be successful in this game. And I'm going to start with one key thing, and that is establishing the run early. Now, if you guys go back to the game in week 5 when the Ravens had the comeback one in overtime, Derrick Henry had a pretty decent, statistical output. He had 15 carries for 92 yards, 1 touchdown, 6.1 yards per carry. That's not bad. Like, that's a good looking stat line. Anyone could live with that. But the 51-yard rush in overtime did a lot of the work. So that's another 14 carries for 41 yards. And the type of defense that the Bengals are playing is really the key to me. And that is a gap control heavy defense where they're two gapping, eating gaps. And it took the Baltimore Ravens a long time to adjust. So if we jump into the film here, let me just back up here. So what you're going to see a lot of is two gapping, not penetrating, not playing that one gap system. They want to two gap, especially against the guards, and hold those gaps on interior runs. So you're going to see right here, the right side against Daniel Falele, they're not penetrating upfield. They're holding the gaps and then using their second level defenders. You see the corner come from out of the side there, and Tyler Linderbaum is going to pull to his guy, but they get another defender. So they stack the box, they two gap, and they hold the gaps. And what that prevents you from doing is being able to hit. You can see right there, they got double teams, they got down blocks going. Tyler Linderbaum pulling around. But you see how well against Daniel Falele and Roger Rosengarten, they held their gaps. And that's what becomes a huge problem in these games. Now we get into another one where they're just going to try and play zone. And you're going to see Patrick McCary lose here. And that's not so much so much two gapping. That's just McCary losing. But then Henry has to cut back, and he ends up getting swallowed by the rest of the defense. So, but they're playing two gap on the front side. So that's really what the key is to me. And taking away those combo blocks that get into the second level right up front. Here we get into another one, and you can see right there, you see how well, if we go back, they're not penetrating forward. You can see BJ Hill 92, you can see Sam Hubbard 94. They're hopping gaps and holding the line of scrimmage and working horizontally rather than trying to work vertically. We've seen a lot of times where teams would work vertically, and it would be to their detriment because Derrick Henry hits a cut, breaks a tackle, and then he's off to the races. But they were playing that gap control heavy approach. And then obviously this is going to be the safety. Roger Rosengarten just completely misses Sam Hubbard on this. Just a complete whiff. And he's going to get back there and make that tackle. So a lot of these runs in this game did not go their way. So the question is, what did work? Because obviously they still had some productive output. So if you look at kind of what worked, it was pushing the ball outside the tackles. Because what that does is it gets pullers out, taking on those level 2 defenders, and it ignores some of that gap control going on. So you see it, we just saw it on a sweep here. We're going to get another toss. You can see the bodies out there. So when those big D linemen, if we go back to into this run, so if we avoid the two gapping interior defensive linemen, which would be the one tech, that's a 3 tech, a 0 tech, and a 3 tech. So they're in a bear front in this alignment. So we're going to completely avoid them just by tossing this outside. So they motion Zay Flowers across, then they're going to toss outside, get pullers out there. That completely leaves those defensive tackles useless on the backside. They have to now chase down, and Derrick Henry just is able to run past them. So that's really what the key is to me in this game is those outside runs. And you're going to see here, this is the 51-yarder. Again, another toss play. So that's 3 successful runs we just saw on tosses and sweeps. And obviously this one, I remember breaking down this play. There's so much going on here because Pat Ricard makes a huge block. Ronnie Stanley takes out 2-3 guys with one block, and Derrick Henry takes that down. The other thing that works really well against two gapping that the Ravens didn't do a ton of in week 5, but when they did, it was pretty successful, is the zone read. So you're going to see here with Justice Hill in the backfield, Lamar is going to read that backside defender here, or sorry, that front side defender. So they're trying to get Trey Hendrickson to eat up. If he eats up, he's handing that off to Justice Hill. This is actually the counter bash, but it's still an option play. And what that does is because they're two gapping, it gets them reading at the line of scrimmage and allows your guys to set up blocks because not only are they two gapping and reading, but they're trying to now read the mesh point. And so you're going to see right here, they end up eating the middle of the field. And again, we're outside the tackle. Lamar literally pushing Ronnie Stanley up the field. Here we're going to get a triple option. So you get the inside handoff, and then you have Lamar going with a potential pitch option here to Justice Hill. And then Lamar actually cuts this up. Doesn't look like much, but it actually goes for a gain of 5. So there's definitely some opportunities for the Ravens to take advantage of that. And I think that's one of the key ways that they can come out and dominate the run game. So run off tackle, outside runs, toss plays, zone toss, which they've had a lot of success with, and also the option run. I know Lamar Jackson's been playing banged up, but this is a game where they have 10 days off after. If they need to run Lamar a little bit to get that pass game or that run game going, going to be a huge benefit for the team because it sets up the play action, and that's where Lamar has just absolutely decimated teams. So that's key 1 for me. Get the run game going. Key 2, slowing down Trey Hendrickson early. Trey Hendrickson's a guy that he plays basically 100% of his snaps over top of the left tackle. So he's going to be matched up with Ronnie Stanley almost exclusively. He had about 7 pressures in the first meeting. I believe 4 of those came against Ronnie Stanley. So this is something that, and he also got a couple shots in on Lamar. So that's something that we are going to need to take care of. This is a huge matchup for Ronnie Stanley, and you're going to see so again, where you guys are looking in these videos, clips, it over top of Ronnie Stanley. So you're going to see on this first clip here, he actually ends up against Ronnie and the tight end, and you're going to see him come in late here and get the QB hit. So not an early pressure. Lamar throws it away, but still a guy that's able to get to Lamar and be able to be physical and hit him, which we want to avoid. And that was splitting the tight end and the left tackle. Here we get a more traditional pass set, him getting outside, getting around Ronnie, and then forcing the scramble. Lamar, obviously, with his legs, able to take this for a big gain, but again, taking contact downfield. So there we get out again, coming around. This one actually resulted in the roughing the passer call that Trey Hendrickson got, but you can see him working that power rush, working that inside hand, and getting around the arc against Ronnie Stanley. So these are the types of rushes that we need to be able to stop and be able to prevent. And then there he is, forcing the flush. Lamar is able to get that out with his sidearm. So I wouldn't say this is a significant concern for me because Ronnie's, basically if you look at the breakdown, I tweeted it out. I don't have the clip to throw up here, but if you look at the breakdown, he's allowed 14 pressures on the year. 8 have come against Trey Hendrickson and Myles Garrett. So basically all of them. That's only 6 pressures in 7 other games. So Ronnie's been lights out, but against the elite rushers, the Trey Hendrickson, the Myles Garretts, he did do well when he was matched up with Micah Parsons, so credit him there. But he's struggled. And that's always been the type of rusher that's given him problems, even in 2019 when he was an all-pro. It's those power rushers. So Ronnie against Trey Hendrickson, as you guys will remember, and I can drop the link in the description down below if you want to go see it. The Bengals played that heavy blitz scheme. I'm not expecting them to come out and blitz because Lamar absolutely picked it apart. They'd be dumb to do it. I hope they do. I hope they come out and show cover 0 and we can do it again. But I'm expecting a lot more of those traditional dropbacks against 4-man rushes, 5-man rushes, that sort of thing. And that will put the pressure on Ronnie Stanley to be that lights out blindside left tackle. And then getting into key 3 here, utilizing middle of the field open coverages to contain Jamar Chase. So when I wrote MOFO, what does that mean? That's looking at the coverages that open the middle of the field, cover 2, cover 4, versus middle of the field close coverages, which are your cover 1s, your cover 3s. And so, really interesting stat here from Bill Smith. Joe Burrow peppered Jamar Chase in week 5 against the Ravens when Baltimore aligned in single high. So, in single high snaps, 21 routes, 11 targets, 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those was obviously the screen that went for 70 yards. Against split safety looks, so those 2 highs, 4 highs, cover 2, cover 4 looks, 19 routes, 1 target, 1 catch, 9 yards. So this is that whole cover 2 thing. Now, this isn't a shutting down Joe Burrow thing, because Joe Burrow's EPA is actually higher against cover 2 than it is against cover 1. But with T. Higgins out for this game, I think it'd be wise to focus on taking Jamar Chase out and making someone else beat you. The Mike Gesicki's, the Andre Iosovas, Chase Browns, make those guys beat you. They're role players, and don't let their best player be their best player. And then if I got it here. So I think what we saw last week was a little bit more of Dean Pease Tampa 2 style, which is a cover 2 defense. And that's where I think the Baltimore Ravens could have some success in this. I got some of the clips to show you guys from the week 5 matchup where Chase did have a big day, and you can see the types of coverages. So here, let me just make this bigger for myself. Let me pause it so I can speak to it a little bit. So Jamar Chase, bottom of your screen against Marlon Humphrey here. And this is going to be against just, cover 1. This is just cover 1 man. So you're going to see Marcus Williams drop into the single high, Jamar Chase break into the middle of the field. And if you guys have been following my channel for a long time, you know how I feel about that middle of the field, behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties. That's where Jamar Chase just made that catch. Now, as we roll along, you're going to see dropping into cover 3 here. This is the touchdown right before the half. So you're going to see, and sorry, I can't show you guys the annotations with the screen brush that I normally have, but Marlon Humphrey is on the bottom of your screen, and he is supposed to be dropping into cover 3. So again, this is the middle of the field closed defense, basically 3 high defenders with Marcus Williams over the middle, Marlon Humphrey at the bottom of your screen. And you can see right here, Marlon Humphrey cheats up. Jamar Chase is going to run that deep crossing route, and that is right into Marlon Humphrey's zone. So Marlon Humphrey blew the coverage, didn't drop into his zone, and result is the touchdown. I believe you get a cover 1 man look here. Yeah, we're in cover 1 man, and he's just going to win a one-on-one ball against Nate Wiggins. And now we got a cover 1 look again in man to the top of your screen against Brandon Stevens, and break off that route, and Brandon Stevens slips, and he's able to catch that. So that's really what I saw in this game. So it's, getting away from, some of those cover 3 looks, cover 1. They'll still play a little bit of it, but when they want to really shut down Jamar Chase, when they want to get into those situations where it's, 3rd and 8 plus, get into cover 2, contain with the split safeties, hedge a safety over top of Jamar Chase. And a really good strategy is actually having Brandon Stevens on him, because what Brandon Stevens is really good at is trail technique. So he can run trail technique with a safety over top, and then he can focus a little bit more on getting his head back around, knowing he's got that safety up there to give him comfort. So I think that'd be a really good matchup that they could take. And what that does is it can hopefully limit Jamar Chase, and again, force some of those role players to be the guys that beat you. Obviously, we don't want anyone beating us, but with this defense, you got to live with what you can take. So that's what I have for you guys today. Those are my 3 keys to victory. If you guys enjoyed this format, drop a comment down below. Let me know. Drop a comment with your score prediction. Again, the winner will win a free t-shirt from Breaking Tea. Check the link down below to check out what they can provide you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.